I'm going to begin by drawing out this datura flower. Just kind of marking out the edges of the petals where they come into the centre, how it all connects together. So it really helps when you're drawing this to actually think about the structure of the flower. So this petal comes out here. This one's joining up there. And it all fits together like that. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of oil pastel as a resist. Now I'm adding using a little bit of fine liner just to start adding in the first bit of colour. Now it looks a bit harsh at the moment, but it's all going to soften when I start to paint over it. So I think now I'm just going to add some water and start softening this down. Well, I'll be painting back into it later. So immediately you can see that the pen line's just kind of starting to disappear and just become a soft tone, which is really nice. When you start drawing with the pens, quite often you can start to panic thinking that it's a bit too strong, but if they're water soluble you can always soften them down. Already now that's softened, you can see some of the form starting to come, that the flower starts to look as though it's going down in the centre. So the next step, I'm going to start adding some quite intense colour around the edge of the flower to start lifting it out from the background. So this is where the tape, it really helps having the tape around the edge, just to kind of keep a border on it. And I quite like it when all the colours run together. So it's kind of the contrast between these very strong colours and the very pale colours of the flower that I really love, and it will lift the flower out from the background. Okay, I think that will do. So I'm now just going to soften some of the edges here. This will help some of the colours to blend together. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. Right, the painting's dried now, and as you can see, all those colours that were so strong before are now much more muted that it's dried. So I'm quite happy with the background, and I like the fact that here I've got sharp edges on the part of the flower that's nearest to us, and these petals here that are farther away have got a softened edge, so that's pushing them to the background. So I'm now going to work on this area in the centre of the flower, and I'm just using a fine liner, but I'm being quite controlled with what I'm adding here. I'm now going to soften that just with some clean water. And I'm now going to add a little bit of the purple of the background into that, but only a tiny bit. It's just quite small flower. Okay, and I'm now going to pick up some of the green from the background and introduce that as well. Okay, so I'm now going to let that dry too. I just added some tones in here, just a little bit of the blue, bringing some of the colours of the background into the petals. And now I'm just going to use water-soluble pen and just work a little bit on the centre here, on the stamens. And I think that will do.